to share with you my way of making sure that flying geese fit in the pattern once you've got them all made. We're making flying geese using sew and flip corners. So it's our dark square on the light rectangle. We're going to sew diagonally so it would look like this once we sew the block on and we press it back into the corner. We hope after we've sewn and flipped that when we press it back to the corner, it looks like this on the front and it's all nice and neatly lined up around the edges. If you're like me, even if you draw the line, even if you sew very carefully, a lot of times the front looks fine. Maybe there's a little bit of extra showing at the top, but that doesn't matter because that's caught in the seam allowance. But when you go to turn it over, you've got stuff hanging off the back that makes it very difficult to line it up with the next piece you're going to sew it to. So my trick is to take the piece, look at it from the back, take my scissors, and anything that hangs off over the edge of my rectangular piece is just going to get trimmed off. I can do it very quickly with scissors, and I'm trying hard not to cut any of the white off, just anything hanging over. Then I turn it, and I trim off what's hanging over here, so that when I get done, I don't see any of the dark fabric hanging over the edge, and when I go to line it up with a light piece of fabric, then everything's going to, with right sides together, everything's going to line up in my nice quarter-inch seam allowance. I know exactly where I want to be sewing. The other option, and if you don't want to just take your scissors and hand trim it, is to use your rotary cutter. And remember, it's anything that hangs over beyond the light rectangle. So I'm just going to put my ruler on, line the edges of my ruler up with the light rectangle and trim off anything that hangs over, any gray that hangs over, even little pieces like this. And then I'll turn it around. If there's anything hanging over on that side, I'll lay my ruler on it again and trim off just any little excess that's hanging over. So my back now, everything is lined up. I don't see any gray hanging over, and I'm ready to go and attach it to the next piece with a good quarter-inch seam allowance.